perfect, silent darkness. The kind of cold vacuum where not a single ray of light survives. If you took our entire solar system, the sun, every planet, the furthest orbits of the icy comets, and dropped it into this object, it would vanish without even touching the edges. It would simply cease to exist. And that is where the universe stops feeling like a place of wonder and starts feeling like a trap. Because this is not just a normal black hole. It is a cosmic anomaly so incomprehensibly massive that it breaks our understanding of reality. It does not threaten us with proximity. It does not threaten us with sudden collision. Its terror comes from scale, from knowing that a monster of this proportion is out there, waiting in the dark. Welcome to the absolute nightmare of astrophysics. We are used to the idea that matter forms planets, stars, and galaxies. But here, matter forms a prison, an ultramassive gravity well holding the crushed, forgotten remains of 66 billion suns. The universe is filled with titans, structures that could erase our world without a sound. But among them, there is an undisputed king of the dark. This is TON 618, a name that sounds like a harmless clinical designation. But behind those letters and numbers lies an abyss so profound, it defies the laws of physics. According to everything we know, a monster of this scale simply should not exist. Yet it does. And it forces us to confront a cosmic reality we are entirely unprepared to face. To understand why TON 618 feels so wrong, we have to look back at how we found it. It did not start with darkness. It started with a scream of light. In 1957, astronomers detected a faint blue glow on the very edge of the observable universe. They thought it was just a dim star within our own galaxy. But as our technology evolved, the terrifying truth came into focus. This was no star. It was a quasar, an engine of unimaginable destruction, violently tearing apart matter and converting it into pure, blinding energy. In moments of peak activity, it is a blazing storm of plasma, a fiercely burning ring of fire so intensely bright that it blinds our telescopes. It shines with the power of 140 trillion suns. But this light is not a beacon. It is a warning. It is the final chaotic flare of a universe being consumed. Let's talk about the numbers. Because the human mind is simply not built to process this level of enormity. At the center of our home galaxy, the Milky Way, sits Sagittarius A star. It weighs 4 million times the mass of our sun. To us, it is a giant. It anchors our entire galactic neighborhood. But against TON 618, the supermassive black hole of our galaxy looks like a microscopic grain of sand. TON 618 weighs 66 billion solar masses. Its event horizon, the boundary of no return, where not even light can escape, stretches across 390 billion kilometers. That is 40 times the distance from the Sun to Pluto. If you fired a beam of light across its diameter, it would take weeks just to reach the other side. This is not an object you fly past. It is an environment, a colossal void that redefines the geometry of space itself. When you look at normal planets, your brain can contain the image in a single glance. But here, your eye tries to find an edge, and it cannot. The scale stops feeling comfortable. The entire structure begins to resemble an error in the fabric of the universe. When you look at something this large, the natural question is, how did it get here? And this is where the narrative of TON 618 shifts from terrifying to impossible. The light we see from this quasar has been traveling for over 10 billion years. We are not looking at it as it is today. We are witnessing a journey of light across eras, flying past forming galaxies, carrying the image of an ancient monster. We are looking at a ghost from the dawn of time. But the universe was too young back then to reach 66 billion solar masses in such a short cosmic time frame. It would have had to consume matter at an impossible rate. Standard models of physics break down here. It forces us to consider terrifying alternative scenarios. Perhaps it did not grow from a dying star like normal black holes. Perhaps it was born giant, collapsing directly from a primordial cloud of dark matter and gas, a structure born in the dark, meant to swallow the light. Space is vast, but it usually feels empty. Around TON 618, space feels occupied. You are forced to look at a structure that is consuming entire star clusters, while right now, it is chaotic, it is violent. The accretion disk is a whirlpool of gas and dust spinning at nearly the speed of light. Friction heats it to millions of degrees. If this quasar were placed just a few light years away from Earth, it would shine brighter than the sun. It would strip our atmosphere and sterilize the planet in seconds. It does not just exist in space, it actively destroys the space around it. The larger the disk becomes in your imagination, the less it feels like a cosmic phenomenon. It starts to feel like a cosmic executioner. And then, the pace slows down. Because the most unsettling thought is not what TON 618 was doing 10 billion years ago. It is what it is doing right now. Today, that blinding quasar has likely burned out, having swallowed everything within its gravitational reach. TON 618 has gone quiet. It is no longer a blazing ring of fire. It has become an ancient ghost drifting in the perfect, silent darkness. An invisible titan lurking in the void, completely undetectable unless something wanders too close. We look up at the night sky and think we understand our place in the cosmos. But we are merely passengers on a tiny speck of dust in an endless ocean. An ocean filled with leviathans that dwarf our entire reality. The universe was not made for us, and sometimes it takes looking into a 390 billion kilometer abyss to finally understand just how fragile we truly are.